All right, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome. We are live. It is time for round 5 of the Division 2 Championship here at ISRL Esports, and we are here at the Canadian Grand Prix, and we are just in early stages of short qualifying. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining in on what is going to be a fantastic session of racing action here at the Canadian Grand Prix. My name is Fallen Monkeys, here in the commentator's booth to take you through all of the action. Now, as we're seeing, we've already got some drivers here out on their out laps, the likes of Lorenzo, who I think is leading the charge now on the soft tires in that Haas car, and we'll see what the times the drivers can put up here in this qualifying session. It's the battle for pole position, and it starts right here, right now. So if we ride on board, coming through the Vettel chicane, as I call it here, turn 3 and turn 4, looking to be pretty good. And now here in Canada, as you're seeing with this lap, you can cut a lot of the corners without getting into too much trouble with the stewards, with the marshals here that monitor the corner cutting rules. So we will see some drivers here in Division 2, in Division 1, and I'm sure throughout the other divisions, taking advantage of what you can and cannot do on this track. And it looks like Lorenzo, at the very least, is at this first lap showing that off pretty well as he comes through the hairpin, now down towards the very long back straight, which leads into probably one of the more dangerous corners here on the circuit, if not the most dangerous corner. Turns, I believe, 11 and 12, right alongside of the wall of champions on that right-hand side. Very easy to lose the car if you're not careful. Lorenzo, though, doesn't do that. He puts up a 1:10.294, and that is the benchmark time here in Canada. So as you can already see, it's a very fast track. The lap times are just going to start falling here sooner rather than later, but with a 1:10, 1:11 here for Nole, 1:11 flat, so a little bit more in the tank, maybe a little bit of a mistake there. Rotation showing a little bit of pace here in Division 2. He sets a 1:10.1. Potgetter with a 1:09.6 for his first lap time here. VR46 Yarno on your screen in the Williams as he's heading down the back straight here, looking to get that first lap time set. Cohen sets a 1:09.117 for his first lap time here, and he takes that provisional pole position. So it looks like, at least for now, whoever crosses the line last is going to snag that position. There goes VR. It's a 1:09.9. So lots of drivers breaking into the sub 110s, but it's Cohen on pole position. It looks like Passé had a bit of a moment through the exit of turn 6 and 7, I believe. We've got Slayer coming up on a lap time here, so we'll actually see if we can stick with or here, unless that's Jordan that's a little bit closer. Yes, it is going to be Jordan here that's closer. So let's take a look at that car, see where it is. Oh, in a very bad spot there, perpendicular to the track, right on the exit line there. So hopefully they can get that car out of the way very shortly, and it looks like that is the case. Now, I think Passé just getting a little bit too anxious on the acceleration, a little bit too quick on the power, loses the back end, almost similar to what you saw Knight do there. As we jump on board, you saw he was fighting the car on the exit of that corner, and it is a very difficult corner. Ooh, another little bit of a slip and slide there for Knight, who was saying pre-race he was feeling very comfortable around this track. It is his home race, and throughout the weekend, the home race of quite a few drivers here for ISRL Esports. But that is including Knight, and he was saying he was feeling very confident. Now, it is his first lap, so it could just be a little bit of a banker lap, a feeler lap to see what he can and can't do. But I'm sure you'll see a very strong lap time from the Alpine driver. Now, we'll switch back over to Jordan as he's just starting a lap time here. Cohen is still hanging on to that provisional pole. The 1:09.117 seems to be where the plateau is for the time being. Potgetter in second, but about a half a second off there is Potgetter on that lap, with Will rounding out the top 3. But Will might actually be on one last flying lap, so if we stick with him as he comes around the wall of the final corner near the wall of champions here, heading towards the line, is he going to maybe snag that pole? It's close. It's a 1:09.417 for Will, so exactly 0.3 of a second off of that pole position lap time is Will here for his first, well, not his first lap time, but his most recent lap time in this short qualifying session. But through all of that, still 11 and a half minutes to go just about in this session. You've got Jordan coming around the final 2 corners now. Let's see what his first lap time is going to be on those soft tires. Crosses the line, it's P10, so just inside of the top 10 with a 110.469 for Jordan. So might need to find a little bit more pace here to improve that lap. Knight a very pedestrian 111.3 with that first lap. It looks like he did another one there, but didn't quite work out for him. So I think he's gonna dive into the pits, get those tires changed, just making sure that those are not the tires he keeps here for the race. Calm Koala on a flying lap on the soft tires, reserving in the Alpine here today. You'll know his voice from the Division 3 streams if you watch here in the Alpine car for Division 2, and with the little time change we had for Division 3, it is allowing Division 3 and 4 drivers to reserve here for Division 2, which will help fill up the grid here. Not like we needed much help here with this lineup and with the competitiveness we've had. But, of course, 20 driver grids, you always love to see them. So you'll see Calm Koala here as a reserve. Hartman is here as a reserve after getting his first podium in ISRL in Division 4. He's going to have a little bit more of a challenge here in Division 2, of course. It's a 111.5, so slowest lap time there for Hartman here, but 0.2 off the pace of Knight's time, half a second off, but it is crucially on 2-lap-old medium tires for Hartman. So once he puts maybe a set of soft tires on, he can definitely put himself up there here, maybe with right around P9, P10 as of right now. But drivers who have yet to set a lap time, here's Demorts in the Red Bull on the soft tires and actually sets a purple second sector. So fastest in Sector 2 is the Red Bull driver. Now that could just be setup-wise here. Of course, some prefer more of a top speed setup for sectors 3, and some prefer more of a downforce setup for the to make it through a little easier on the various chicanes that we have here in at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Canada. But Demorts, it's only 9th fastest, a 110.255. So maybe it was a personal best sector 2 for Demorts on that first lap time. But right in the middle of the pack with that 110.255 there, who is currently running a lap. Calm Koala with a 109.8, so a very good lap time here for the Alpine driver, putting himself into a top 5 position here. Now Cohen, I thought it looked like he was running a flying lap right now, but had an invalidation somewhere along the way, so will not be completing that lap time, or the time will not count. So essentially on another outlap. Who else is running a flying lap? Nazareth is looking to improve on his time here as he's heading down the near the start-finish straight in Sector 3. Through the final corner he goes towards the line. What's the time going to be? Is it going to be faster? Yes, it is. Almost knocking Cohen off, but the Red Bull driver can breathe a sigh of relief as the AlphaTauri, the sister team driver, sets a 109.130. So just off pace there for that pole position. That provisional pole was It's Nazareth, but definitely one of those drivers to look out for here is It's Nazareth. He's always he does end up sometimes getting a little bit of bad luck, wrong place, wrong time, but we know the pace that the AlphaTauri driver has, so definitely a driver to keep an eye out for here, as we could say a little bit of a dark horse if we want to go that far. But I do expect Nazareth to have some pace here for the race. Duwill, he had an invalidation as well, taking a corner a little bit too much for the likings there of the Marshall, so will not be improving on his lap time here either on that fresh set of softs. VR46 Yarno just crossed the line, and there you go. We have a new provisional pole sitter here with 7 minutes and 15 seconds to go. It's VR46 Yarno in the Williams with a 108.990 on the soft tires, and that is your new time to beat here for that provisional pole position. Now let's see how the drivers are going to react to that. Let's switch back with the Alpine driver of night. He's on the medium tires right as Cohen takes that pole position right back. It's a 108.954, so about 4/100ths of a second quicker than the time from VR. Knight, interestingly, running on those medium tires, so maybe not, maybe just looking for strategy-wise, start on the mediums and either go mediums to hards or even medium soft. You could do a one-stop, but you really got to extend, and those soft tires don't last all that long here in Canada. But 7th fastest on the mediums goes Knight. It's a 109.755 on for the Alpine driver there on those yellow-walled medium tires. So puts himself in a good spot here, but not entirely sitting comfortably either inside that top 10, especially with a lot of drivers around here on those soft tires, and with the likes of Irish New Potato and Zuil, who had quicker lap times on the mediums, but could be going for another lap here. Actually, is Knight still using that battery, still opening up that DRS, and still looks to be on pace here. Ooh, close on that inside curve, but that is one of those corners, like I had mentioned previously, that you can take very close to the limit, so to say. Now around the hairpin there, not the best angle to take a look at the line, but it's looking good. But it's all going to come down to the final corner, or the final corners, I should say, here near the Wall of Champions. There you have it, so close to the wall without touching it there. Keeps it valid, keeps it clean across the line. It's about a 1/10 of a second slower on that lap time. So the first lap is going to be the lap time that is going to stand here. Now we'll switch over to Krishna, as he's on a flying lap right now, actually, it appears. Lots of battery in the tank, heading towards turns 8 and 9 of this circuit, just past the family section. That's turn 5, turn 6, so I guess turn 7, turn 8. Now the hairpin here, as I should get my track map up, but I'm a little bit too lazy for that. I'll just be honest with you guys there. But heading down near the final few corners is Krishna, looking to put a time on the board. It's going to come down to this final few corners. Takes it clean here, yes, keeps it valid, so we're going to see a lap time on the board. What's the Ferrari driver going to do? It's P4. It's a 109.174 for the Ferrari driver here, as he goes, puts himself on the second row with 4 minutes and 10 seconds to go in this short qualifying session. Dark, meanwhile, in the Mercedes, unfortunately will not be setting a lap time. Had an invalidation. Irish New Potato, though, on the other hand, in the Mercedes, he goes fastest. It's a 108.785, so knocks off Cohen from that pole position. So Irish New Potato sets the new time to beat 0.2 of a second faster than what Cohen had set on his best lap time. The question is, who will be able to respond? Will anybody be able to snag that pole position right back? We will find out here sooner rather than later, as it seems like as of now, other than I would say Dark, we have Luchesi, who's currently running a flying lap, both very close to one another. Lots of drivers sitting in the pits or on their in-laps, just looking to get through their qualifying routine, we could say, or through the regime here in qualifying, to get on track right at the end of the session, when the track is, in theory, going to be at its quickest, with about, a minute, could say maybe 2 minutes to go in the session. We're nearing that time, but I think a lot of drivers just waiting for that cue to go right at the end of the session, similar to what we see in real-life Formula 1. We'll see here for Division 2, but Luchesi crosses the line, goes P6, a 109.227, so it looks like the low 109s are what a lot of drivers are aiming for. Dark, meanwhile, as I just missed him there, he goes up to P8 for the, excuse me, let's take a look. Yeah, so Dark goes up to P8 in that Mercedes. It's a 109.3. So the low 109s seemingly are just going to take you right around the top, right around the top 10. But you can see if you can break into the sub 109s, you're essentially up there on the second row, putting yourself in P4, maybe P3, even P2. But it's a lot easier said than done to break that 1 minute and 9 second barrier, as we're already seeing Slayer though on a lap right now in the Williams. Heading towards the end of Sector 2. That's an invalidated lap, though, cutting that first corner just a little bit too much with Slayer. So going to have to go again. Rotation in a similar manner here has an invalidated lap himself, so will not be improving. Is going to have to go again, and this could very much so affect the regime of some of these drivers who are looking to get their lap time set at the final moment on the ideal tires. But with the time left, they do have at least one more lap in the tank if they can get across the line in the next minute and 19, 16, 15 seconds here and counting. We've got Jordan back on your screen, coming through turn 6 there near the family section, opening up DRS as he heads towards the next set of corners. Another little chicane. Get used to them here in Canada. We've got a lot here in this track. So many chicanes here, but of course we've got a hairpin as well, Lepeng, as we so call it. Jordan taking that fairly nicely, but now is really gonna have to hustle down the back straight. Irish Sweet Potato out of qualifying here. P2 VR46 Yarno, though, it's a 108.696, so he goes fastest here. Provisional pole, Jordan coming around the final corner, and once he gets that lap time set, we'll switch over to this battle for the front. It's Nazareth out. There goes Jordan, about a 1/10 of a second faster here, so VR is on pole. Cohen might be going for one more lap here right at the end of the session. You can see he's got DRS open, a little bit of help there near the front. Just ahead of him there, but as he comes through the final corner, ooh, that was close there. It shows how much curb you can take on that first entry to the corner right at the line, though. It's slower for Cohen, so he will not snag that pole position back. Kurt Valletta, though, maybe has a chance on a lap right now, is going to have to be perfect with that 109 flat. Will has an invalidation on that lap, so it's not going to be better. Knight, though, meanwhile, drivers, he was saying he was very strong here, and I did hear through in the pit wall the frustration. Down in 15th place is the Alpine driver there with not setting a lap time, so not the ideal starting position, but we'll see how that will play out. No stranger to those drives. But first we got to sort out qualifying, as it looks like it is just going to come down to Kurt Valletta to see if he can maybe snag that pole position right from under VR's feet here as he comes around the final corner. No, it's an invalidated lap, so that's going to be the end of qualifying. So Cohen hanging on to that pole position for quite some time, but at the end of the session, once the clock hit 0, all the drivers came across when it mattered most. He finds himself down in P3, starting on the second row of the grid, because it's a VR46 Yarno putting that lap time in when it mattered most, a 108.696, and he finds himself starting in P1 on pole position here for what is bound to be a very exciting race here at the Canadian Grand Prix. But there you have it. That has been the short qualifying session there. Like I was saying, for pole position, it's a 108.696 from VR46 Yarno. A bit of a nice time, if I do say so myself. Irish Sweet Potato in the Mercedes will be starting on the front row of the grid right alongside him, about not even a 1/10 of a second separating these two drivers. And when you go down the order here, you can see already we have to get to 15th place, which is Knight, to show the 1 second separation here. So top 14 all separated by less than a full second. Knight, meanwhile, just over that 1 second mark, but on the medium tires. And then the whole grid here essentially separated by 2 seconds at the most. But so that will make for a very exciting race here once we load into the session, which will just be in a few moments. Of course, we might get a little bit of a moment, take a little bit of a breather here between qualifying and the race, let the drivers get their setups fine-tuned, figure out the strategy, figure out essentially the fuel, the tire choice, exactly what they want to be doing. Nice, clear, sunny skies in Montreal, about 2 hours away from, I guess, the home base of ISRL, so to say. So very close to home here is the Canadian Grand Prix. Makes it fantastic for us here, both in real life and, I mean, of course, here in the Canadian Grand Prix in the game. And I'm excited to kick off this race here. We've got the formation lap coming at you in just a few moments, and the 5 red lights to start the Grand Prix. Just getting those final preparations ready to go before we get the cue. So I'm just gonna take a quick sip of my drink. I'll be right back with all of you folks here. Thank you so much for watching here, the Division 2 Championship, with the race coming very shortly here. Alright, got my drink, nice and refreshed, ready to go. Still awaiting that the little cue, the little countdown. Once we get the cue to go, we will be able to jump in to the session for the formation lap, and of course the 5 red lights, the start of the race here for round 5 of the Division 2 Championship here for ISRL Esports. And if you're just tuning in, right on cue here, your timing is perfect. It is just about time for the start of the race here. Thank you so much for watching. My name, once again, is Fallen Monkeys here in the I'm in the booth taking you through the action here. Not much on your screen for now. You can see sunny skies. The fans are hyped. I'm hyped. I hope you're all hyped too, because in about 5 seconds we've got one banker lap here, 1 formation lap, and 35 race laps here around the high-speed, very fast Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. And there you have it. The drivers are leaving the line. VR46 Yarno, our pole position sitter here, with the 108.696 as the fastest lap time in qualifying, will be starting from P1 on the soft tires. I'll get all of this info up for everybody on the screen. Irish New Potato in P2 on the soft tires, and so is everybody in the top 10 on those soft tires. Cohen in 3rd for the Red Bull team, so a strong qualifying here, nearly snagging pole position, but costly invalidations right at the end of the session meant that it was not meant to be for the Red Bull driver in P3. Kurt Valletta in 4th, starting on the 2nd row. Row 3 will be Zuwil in the Haas, and Nazareth starting in P6. Row 4, Krishna and Calm Koala. Fantastic drive here as a reserve from Calm Koala. We'll see if he can keep this up in the race, starting from the 4th row with Lucchesi and Demorts rounding out the top 10 on row 5. Best of the rest, free tire choice, Dark in 11th, starting on the medium tires here, and Slayer in 12th in the Williams, starting on the softs. Nole in 13th, Potgetter in 14th, and Knight in 15th, all starting on those medium tires. Jordan, meanwhile, opting for the quicker initial pace of the soft tires in 16th. Rotation in 17th here on the medium tires, with Lorenzo in 18th on the softs. Hartman and Passé, the 2 McLaren drivers, not having qualifying they're hoping for, even more so in Passé's case after that accident. Starting from the back of the grid, both running a similar medium tire strategy here, so as long as they can get that sorted out. But as you can see, the drivers are taking their place on the grid. We are just about set to start the Grand Prix here for 35 laps around Circuit Gilles Villeneuve for the Division 2 Championship here at ISRL Esports. Here we go. Up to 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 red lights. and the lights are off, and we are racing here in Canada. As you can see, it's a very good start, a little bit of a cautious start there. The Red Bull Cohen not getting a good start at all, but side by side through turn 1, turn 2 is Nude Potato and VR as they're battling it out. It looks like VR hangs on to that position. Kurt Valletta, meanwhile, going side by side with Duwill, and there's a big accident right behind us there as I'm trying to get back and take a look, but it looked like Lucchesi and Cohen getting caught up with each other. Maybe some other drivers getting involved as well. Could have been two separate accidents. We just didn't quite get the greatest view there. Just caught the corner at the back, but that is two drivers out of this Grand Prix very quickly, and heartbreak for both drivers, but especially with Cohen starting in P3, and we saw didn't really have the race start he was hoping for there. Lost a lot of positions very early on, maybe trying a little bit too much to get back at it. That I'm not sure, but unfortunately it went from great to bad to worse for Cohen and for Lucchesi as well. It's a very early end to the Canadian Grand Prix, and that has brought out a full safety car very early on here in this Grand Prix, as drivers haven't even completed one sector here before the safety car comes out. A little bit similar to I believe it was last season in Division 3, where we had a bit of an accident right on the exit of turn 2. Now, of course, one of the other things that could have just been a cause for pure accident. The exit of turn 2, it's so easy. It is extremely easy to just put a little bit too much power on the exit of that corner and just lose the back end of the car. And when you're going on the exit of that corner, 20 cars bunched up together, it just takes one to lose that back end very early on colder tires, and just like that, boom, a chain reaction afterwards, and that could have also been what had caused that. But it might very well be something the stewards could be looking at here at the by the end of the session here, by the end of the race weekend. But for us, we are continuing on here as we always do, and when I'm looking at the position changes here very early on, first thing I notice, both Potgetter and Passe, moving up 4 positions here from the start. So they were the biggest movers. Knight up 3 as he got a good start there. Slayer also up 3 positions. Other than that, everybody else has essentially remained where they were off the start. We saw a close battle right off the lead there from VR and Nude Potato. They went side by side right through, and it was almost Nude Potato's position to take, but VR just found the VTEC, you could say, on the exit at turn 2, and hung on to that position. And hasn't looked back. Of course, the safety car has helped here in this sake, but now it's lap 3. Hopefully, the safety car will be coming in at the end of this lap, so we can go back to racing. You see, the grid's essentially bunched up. Not like we had too much waiting around to do. Of course, with the accident coming so early in this session. But of course, here under safety car with that green safety car taking us around the track here. We just gotta wait for the lights to turn off so we get the cue that the safety car is coming in. Maybe in a few corners time now here. And once again, everybody, thank you so much for watching the Division 2 Championship. It's VR46 Yarno sitting in P1 right now. Irish Nude Potato in second. Kurt Valletta in third. Duwil and Krishna rounding out the top 5 here now, as we're just awaiting. It looks like there you have it, right on cue. Safety car is coming in at the end of this lap, so it's going to be VR46 Yarno, who is going to become essentially the de facto safety car. He is going to turn himself into the safety cars. You cannot overtake before the line here. Just going to get the last little bit of heat into those tires. Wait, give the safety car a little bit of advance. Give it time to dive into the pit lane so we can get back to racing here. Now you can see a lot of weaving here. Lots of drivers putting that final temperature in. Just getting ready to go. It looks like now is the restart coming through the final few corners. Here we go, back to green as VR getting a good start, and it looks like everybody caught that up there, but the top two already making a little bit of a gap. VR and Nude Potato looking to resume that battle right where they left it off, but here in the midfield, Kurt Valletta, Zuil, Krishna all chasing down, but it looks to be a good start from everybody here. A lot cleaner this time around with this rolling start than it was right off of the grid with the drivers going single file. We're gonna have to wait a few laps for DRS to activate so we can truly start seeing some overtakes, but of course VR leading the way, but Nude Potato sticking right by very close as they've already built a 1.5 second lead to the rest of the field. Kurt Valletta is a little bit off the pace here with the restart, and you can see Zuil putting a lot of pressure. Is he going to go for a move here down the inside of the hairpin? It's going to be close. No, not down the inside. Krishna, though, thought about going around the outside, but that opened the door for Nazareth, and now they're going to go side by side. Oh no, that was Zuil that got sent off nearly into the wall, but losing out on many positions in the process, heading down towards the final few corners. You see this battle, there's wheels that are touching. It's gonna be close here. It's the Ferrari of Krishna who will hang on to that position. Nazareth came close, but just didn't quite have the room to get the overtake done here to get up to P5. That's Jordan taking a very early pit stop, not happy with those tires, as he's maybe gonna get that change, maybe a front wing change there as well, depending on how that works out. Potgetter, meanwhile, putting a lot of pressure on Slayer, came so close to the Williams driver, was down to less than a tenth of a second behind, but not much of an overtaking spot is here. You generally want to follow single file, maximize your exit speed out of this corner though, because normally you get DRS down this straight. We might see it activate over the course of the next lap, but a little bit further ahead you can see, let's switch over to that. Here comes Zuil on Com Kowal. It's a drag race to the hairpin corner, and it looks like it is going to be Zuil who's just going to get a little bit ahead. Oh, thank you, that's the even better of an angle. There we go, and you can see Zuil finding the traction and getting the overtake done cleanly ahead of Com Kowal as he's trying to damage control after nearly finding himself out of this race a lap ago, but Com Koala fighting back, going down the inside. Ooh, it's close, and that opened the door for D-Morts, but D-Morts is actually out of this race. Oh no, it looked so good from that angle, but unfortunately for D-Morts, it was not meant to be. He saw the opportunity with Com Koala and I believe it was Com Koala and Potgetter possibly having a battle, or Com Koala and Zuil. D-Mort's just trying to go for it there, but unfortunately just couldn't keep the car under control on the second half of that chicane. Crashes out essentially into the wall of champions, or on that exterior wall there, and that has brought out our second safety car, neutralizing the race. What happened to Potgetter here? Oh no, that's a moment there from Potgetter under the safety car. Just losing control of the car, it seems, and he's falling down the order now, down in P16. But that is where he will remain, but still behind the safety car queue on those medium tires, so we'll still be able to get possibly a bit of a jump here on that longer strategy. Jordan's probably extremely happy with the safety car coming out. He's on the medium tires. I do believe there was probably a wing change that needed to be done from that car of Jordan, but he's 21 seconds behind, but with the safety car he's going to be able to catch up, and oh my goodness, look at this. Everybody pitting off of those soft tires, everybody diving into the pit stops. It looks like Dark is staying out, so he's going to be a gainer here. Knight finds himself in P2 on those medium tires, so a lot of those drivers who were in the top 10, who essentially qualified on those soft tires, you can see now they're not lasting all that long, and they're all getting off of those soft tires after a measly 5 laps, but they're all opting for a harder compound. You can see Krishna putting a set of hards on, Com Koala and Lorenzo also going for a set of hard tires. Meanwhile, you've got the likes of it looks like Potgetter, who's putting on a second fresh set of soft tires here, looking to get that pace advantage here with everybody bunched up after the safety car restart. But other than that, everybody else looking at those medium tires, so they're going to go a little bit longer. I know the medium tires can go at least 15 laps, So with those on the softs, if you go on the mediums, you can do a soft, medium, mediums, or even a soft, medium, soft, depending on what you want to do. Those who are currently on the mediums can go a little bit longer. Like I said, they still have a lot of pace in those medium tires, being only 6 laps old and having a few laps here under safety car. So they can go probably a little bit longer than 15 laps, I would say, before they start falling off on pace. But here we go. Very quick safety cars coming in at the end of this lap. And Lorenzo should be able to catch up just in time with this little slowdown. But very cautiously now through the final corner goes Dark, keeping everybody close together. Knight, though, sticking right behind. And now as we're going, everybody times this restart perfectly here. And it looks like the top 3, though, at least got it. But everybody making it through relatively cleanly. Dark is leading through turns 1 and turn 2. But Knight is chasing him down on those mediums. We've got more yellow flags there as who is this? It looks like that's Rotation, who's, oh no, Rotation's in the wall and needing to get back on track here. Not the ideal restart for Rotation, as he's down in 17th and might need to take a pit stop to get that wing change. Potgetter, meanwhile, in P14 on the soft tires, looking to chase down Slayer. Has a lot of overtake in the tank, but Slayer nailing that exit of that corner, so it's going to be close. Kurt Valletta and Krishna, I should say, are going side by side. Now you see Nazareth. Oh no! And what happened to the Ferrari? That's Krishna out of this race, as we've got a yellow flag. We're still battling here between Kurt Valletta and Nazareth. They're side by side through the hairpin corner, and it looks like Kurt Valletta is gonna find the exit, but Nazareth still on that second gear, as they're still side by side. This is gonna get very dangerous, possibly going into the corner. It looks like Hartman might get involved sooner rather than later. They get themselves sorted out, but it looks like Nazareth's getting the worst end of that here, as now heading towards turn 1. It's single file. You're seeing some moves being attempted here, some looks, some drivers just maybe trying to force into a mistake. Ooh, on the exit of turn 2, you can see Hartman feeling the pressure. Here comes Kurt Valletta, still going to remain single file, but once he can get this exit, it's going to be golden here. But of course, he's having to fend off Nazareth, Zuwil, Calm Koala, Slayer, Potgetter. They're all involved here in this midfield battle, and essentially creating a 3-second separation. Hartman's doing a little bit of a bottleneck here for the McLaren, helping out his teammate Passé, who's up in P4, maybe trying to get a little bit of a run here at the leaders. Here they come once again into the hairpin. Are we going to see maybe Zuwil go for a move here? No, they're still going to remain single file. Calm Koala, though, having to go a little bit deep, and that's going to allow Slayer to go for an overtake. But now with the help of DRS, quite possibly. Oh no, it's not open just yet. Hartman, though, going much slower now, as that's Kurt Valletta easily getting by. You can see a little bit further behind, there were a lot of looks there heading into the corner. Sometimes second penalties are starting to fall. There goes Nazareth on Hartman. He finally gets the overtake done and can now chase back down Kurt Valletta for that P7, trying to re-picking up that battle. Hartman, meanwhile, slots himself in P9, and you can see Kurt Valletta already bringing that gap down to 2.3, 2.4 seconds. So the chase is on now with these new drivers there on the fresher tires. Potgetter getting ahead of Calm Koala, and I think maybe going a little bit deep, trying to go for that overtake on the hairpin around the outside. Might have affected Calm Koala a little bit, losing a few positions. But now Potgetter up in P12 as he's trying to find some pace, heading on a charge. Ooh, that slight little bit of contact there isn't going to help. But Slayer having a little bit of trouble there, and it looks like Potgetter as well, struggling a tiny little bit here with that setup. There you saw Zuwil and Hartman going side by side. Hartman, oh my goodness, practically getting bullied around that hairpin on those mediums, as there went Slayer very quickly by. And Potgetter on the softs, I don't think this is going to be much of a battle here, as Hartman's just sticking by for as long as he can. But it's been some good driving, some good defending from the McLaren driver, just trying to keep himself in there as much as he can. Knight, meanwhile, got ahead of Dark as we head back to the battle for the leaders, and you saw Nole having a little bit of a tank slapper on the exit of that corner, and that's going to open the door for the other McLaren of Passé to maybe go for a move. They came close, but not close enough. But Passé now is under pressure from VR46 Yarno and Nude Potato, and if they don't don't get a move on soon, that could be Kurt Valletta getting involved there too. But for the lead, we have a new leader. It's Knight. I said to keep an eye out for the Alpine driver, and this is exactly why. He's got some clean air now from him. He can pump a few time trial laps, so to say, and see if he can maybe try to grow this gap. But Dark has been on pace quite a bit. Nole as well. All these drivers here up in the top 5 and even beyond, they've been extremely on the ball, extremely on the pace here. But of course the top 4 have yet to take a pit stop, so they are going they're going a little bit longer, but they will need to take at least one scheduled pit stop. But here we go. Ooh, it came close there, but I think they're going to wait for the second bite of the DRS cherry, so to say. You can see there goes the other Mercedes of Irish New Potato. Is he going to get the overtake down the inside on VR46 Yarno? They're side by side through turn 2. He's going to have to find the traction here. It doesn't look like it's gonna happen. Oh no! Oh, it's close for Nude Potato, but he keeps that car under control. It's just a little bit of time lost there, thankfully. But now for VR, he can breathe a little bit more comfortably for the moment as VR gets a lot of heat in those tires. He's gonna have to cool them off a little bit there. But I'm sure we'll see Nude Potato essentially charge right back there sooner rather than later. Meanwhile, here once again for this battle for the lead, you can see Dark and Knight getting close. Even Zuwil and it's Nazareth having a little bit of a battle a little bit further behind for P9, P8. As down the inside of the hairpin goes Zuwil. They're side by side here. Nazareth trying to find the traction on the exit. It looks like he's got it. And for now, they both have DRS, so that might neutralize that battle. Here on approach. Oh, whoa, that was close there from, I believe that was Dark, just thinking about going for a move, but just the door completely shut off, and now that's going to open the door for Nole. So a costly mistake there, as now you're seeing positions change, as Dark in third, Nole in second, Pacedo under pressure from VR46 Yarno, and look at that, Irish New Potatoes right back with this group here. Calm Koala taking a pit stop, and you see, I think it was Nazareth who's now ahead of Kurt Valletta, as they're both closing this gap now to it's around 2 seconds now. But Kurt Valletta and Will are racing hard on Nazareth. These 3 cars, they're their own worst enemies here, and that looks to be a pot getter. I think maybe bringing out that yellow flag or rotation, one of the two, depending on where it finds itself. Oh no, what happened to Dark? Dark is going very slow. I think he had a very compromised exit there, as now, just like that, Dark finds himself down in P5, oh, P6 now, as that was his teammate of Nude Potato, just saying, excuse me, I'm gonna get by, I think I've got more pace, and Dark just having to live with that. But now Nude Potato still chasing down VR, but gets ahead of his teammate. And I mean, Dark, I don't think he's going to complain too much, but maybe a little bit of saltiness there. Meanwhile, though, look at this. VR46 trying to get an overtake on Passe, trying to get by Nole. Oh, are they 3 wide? Oh, that was close. But VR just got the better line. They make contact there a little bit through turn 2. But it is VR46 Yarno who gets ahead. Meanwhile, Nazareth passing Dark, and I think Dark is is struggling a little bit on those tires. He might need to get off of them sooner rather than later. Passe and Nude Potato exchange positions, it looks like, as Irish Nude Potato is now up in P4. Passe down in 5th, and Nazareth putting some pressure. He's going to be forced to the inside. Passe squeezing a little bit. They're going to go side by side through the corner, but not an overtaking corner there, unfortunately for Nazareth, as he just cannot get that car alongside in time. And that's nearly allowed Dark to come at him, but there goes Kurt Valletta now, as he goes side by side through the hairpin. Will maybe looking for that gap to open. Not quite the case there on the exit with that inside line, but now side by side they go. You can see just ahead Nazareth and Passe having a little bit of a battle. I'm trying to follow all of this here. We'll just ride on board as now they get themselves single filed. Passe dives into the pit, so he bails out of this. There goes Will trying to overtake Kurt Valletta. Maybe Dark is going to try to snag himself around the outside. Not going to be the case, but there's that side-by-side battle. But Will just not finding that traction. And it's close. Kurt Valletta being forced to the inside, and Will, that's all he need to get the overtake done. But Kurt Valletta coming right back, but having to slam on the brakes on the exit. There goes rotation out of this Grand Prix. He's had enough. not enjoying this, and that's a safety car. And oh no, just now looking at that car, that's rotation out of this Grand Prix, but through the wall of champions in the final corner. And here on lap 14 out of 35, it is going to bring out a full safety car. Calm Koala diving into the pits here, so we won't be seeing where that accident happened. But for me, I can take a breather after the action we had there, but it's Knight leading the way. VR46 Yarno finds himself in P2, Irish Snoot Potato in P3, No Lay down in 4th, but I think all of these runners who stayed out after that first safety car, they might be taking a pit stop here with this second one. We'll keep an eye out and see what Knight wants to do. Oh, he's not even thinking twice. He's taking that pit stop. VR continues on. Nude Potato continues on. No Lake pits. And even some of these drivers with 8-lap old medium tires, maybe that have been battling a little bit more than others, they're going to get on a fresh set of tires. Knight going for the hards. No Lay going for the hards here. Duwill going for a set of mediums, it looks like. But under safety car here for lap 16 out of 35. Once again, I'm just going to take a quick sip of water, and it'll take us through essentially the pit stops, the tire changes, and what we can look out for here once we do get back to racing in about a lap or two's time. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I am back. Hello, welcome back, and thank you everybody for watching is what I was trying to get out there. Once again, it's lap 16 out of 35, so lots of racing here to go, but we are under safety car here after rotation. At a moment on the exit of the final corner through near the wall of champions there, and unfortunately that brought an end to his race, and it leaves us with 15 drivers remaining in this Grand Prix as Krishna, Demors, Luchesi, and Cohen all found the end of their Grand Prix a little bit earlier here, some a little bit earlier than others, but it does leave us with 15 drivers here. VR46 Yarno is leading this Grand Prix under safety car here for on lap 17, with Irish Snoot Potato right behind in second. These two have been battling it out, but this is now going to bring Nazareth, Kurt Valletta involved in this battle. We saw these two drivers battle amongst themselves, battling with Duwill as well, trying to work their way up the field. But now for Nazareth and Kurt Valletta, they're up there. Duwill's a little bit further down in 9th, but opted to take a pit stop with the group of cars that had not taken pit stops on the first safety car when we did have it. So that is where that separation is. Lorenzo rounding out the top 6, who all opted to stay out on their initial choice of tires there, not take a pit stop. All the while, Knight, who was leading the Grand Prix, took a pit stop down in 7th now on the set of hard tires that can more than likely go to the end of this Grand Prix. They're going to last quite a bit. They might be a little bit off pace here compared to the mediums and the softs that we're seeing behind, but still should be very much so serviceable until the end of this race. Nolay opting for a similar strategy here on the hard tires. Duwill though on the mediums, so he's going to try to go a little bit quicker here, but maybe a little bit shorter. We'll see if Duwill can maybe make it to the end of the race. Passe is a little bit of a similar boat. But for Passe, he took his pit stop at the worst possible time, I'm going to have to say, because he very much so, had he stayed out for just one more lap, that safety car would have come out, and he would have had a free pit stop under safety car, but he pit one lap before the safety car came out there, so he did have to close up, unfortunately. And of course, with the deltas, when the safety car does come out, it does not really let you catch up as much as you might want it. But down in P10 is Passé on the mediums. Can still go quite a bit. Dark, though, he's going to put a lot of pressure on drivers ahead. He's on a set of soft tires, so he's going to have a lot of pace here, a lot of traction in these in the initial stage of the restart. His goal, just get up the grid as quick as you can, get up the field, and then so that way you limit the damage when you do have to take your next pit stop, and the field maybe separates a tiny little bit. Slayer on the hards, Pot Getter on the mediums, Calm Koala on the hards, and Hartman back at the back of the grid, taking a pit stop for a fresh set of mediums here, and will be trying to work his way up the field. But lights are off on that safety car, and we will be going back to racing here for lap 19 out of 35. So essentially just past the midway point of this Grand Prix now, as it's essentially turned into a 25% race. But here we go around the final few corners now, going for the restart here is VR. Gonna let a lot of these drivers... Oh no, we've got some front wings being broken there, bouncing around, so that's not gonna help. Nazareth going side by side here for P2 very early on, as you can see Knight already making some moves. A little bit of a tank slapper there from Nude Potato, as he's not having a good restart here. But what happened? Whose front wing was that maybe would have had an issue? Let's try to go down the order. I'm going to try to keep an eye out and see. Maybe, I'm not too sure whose front wing that was. Maybe it was Lorenzo. No, Lorenzo's just on the hard tires, just not having a good restart here, as he's been falling down the field. I have no idea whose front wing that was that we saw bouncing around. Maybe it was just a visual glitch there. We'll see at the end of the lap once we start seeing maybe a pit stop or two from some of these drivers. But for the most part, people making every driver, I should say, making it through cleanly here. Now, once we do get some DRS activated, that's going to be when we're going to see some crazy moves seen. Slayer, though, struggling with the exit of the hairpin, not having the best exit there, losing out in a few positions. Lorenzo and Dark going side by side, or just about, as they're chasing down towards the final corner. Potgetter and Calm Koala, there's a little bit of contact there, but not affecting any one of those drivers, and they get to continue onwards. And Hartman, meanwhile, trying to chase that group down, looking for an overtake. But you can see now Knight chasing down Jordan, who Jordan finding himself in the top 5. Great moves. Oh no, but Lorenzo having a big moment, but there goes Knight finding traction. He's going to go around the outside there, and Jordan going very slow with those 15-lap-old medium tires. I think just losing out on some of that pace, but keeping on with Duwill as they're side by side just about. And there goes Passé. He wants to get involved too, but he's got nowhere to go. He's going to have to try to finesse his way around. Duwill gets ahead. Now Passé just needs a better exit, and he can get by Jordan now. But is he going to get it? Or are we going to see maybe Dark on the softs find that better exit? No, it's about even as they come through the hairpin corner. But down this long back straight, this is where we're going to really maybe start seeing the difference in pace here from this midfield pack, as here comes Passé on Jordan. Dark a little bit further back. Hartman getting by Calm Koala. Is he going to go for a move? No, he's going to slow down, take the final corner. Jordan, who you saw that struggle there, that slight little tank slapper from Jordan. And that's all Passé needs to get cleanly ahead into turn 1. So Jordan falling down the grid here just a little bit down in P9. Passé up in 8th now, as he's going to continue the charge on Duwill, who's putting a lot of pressure on Nolé. But Duwill, as you can see on your screen, 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings. We've got some yellow flags here, as there goes that Slayer in the pits. And I think Lorenzo, the yellow flags are just Lorenzo for DNFing out of this race, and it looks like that was through the exit of the final corner as well, from what I can see, and that's another driver out of this Grand Prix. Potgetter, meanwhile, he's been struggling with that corner through a lot of the race there, the one right before the hairpin, as now Jordan and Hartman are going side by side. Ooh, it's going to be a close battle here. Hartman having to go the long way around. He needs to find the traction, and it doesn't look like it's going to happen, as you can see, struggling a little bit for control of that car. A little bit further ahead, 3 cars battling it out. Look at this, as Duwill, Nolé, and Passé just once again continuing this battle right where they left off. And that's Dark, who's going to get involved just a little bit here in the distance. He wants to get involved, but he's going to have to catch up. And that initial jump on the soft tires might not be what where they were a few laps ago under the safety car, which might be affecting Dark just a little bit compared to everybody else on similar aged medium tires and even the hard tires at this point. But hang on a minute, heading back to the lead here. It's a two-horse battle for now as Nude Potato and VR are chasing each other down. Nazareth, though, in third, keeping them honest, but a little bit further back. You can see VR getting very close as it looks like Nude Potato did get ahead, but now is VR going to be able to challenge right back? We'll see very shortly here as DRS, the flap does open here. Nude Potato defending to the inside, but I think he's got just enough distance for the first part of this, but of course, once again, second bite of the DRS cherry. Here we go into turn one. This is where we see most of the overtaking. It's gonna be close, but for Nude Potato, he survives. He hangs on for one more lap here, but almost loses it there with that wider line of on the exit of turn 2, and that nearly allowed VR, if he could just get that traction, to keep that car right alongside. Not meant to be, and it is going to be Nude Potato still hanging on, but you can see VR putting pressure, coming close. Meanwhile, Passe and Nole are going side by side here, and it looks like for now it's the Ferrari that's leading the McLaren, but for how long now is it anybody's to play for? Through this corner it is Ferrari ahead of McLaren, and now Dark is right on the rear diffuser of these two. He is caught up now, and Potgetter is very shortly going to catch up, and they're right with this this group of essentially Zuil, Knight, all following Kurt Valletta here for what is essentially P4. But you can see already here lots of penalties from a lot of the drivers here. Here comes Passe. He's going to go around the outside. Can he get the overtake done? Yes, he does. Through the final chicane he goes, keeps it clean, keeps the overtake, keeps the move, and that is P7 for the McLaren driver of Passe. Meanwhile, the Ferrari of Nole 0231 on those hard tires down in P8 and might start feeling pressure from Dark, who's on the soft tires, but I think he's gonna have to take a pit stop here in a couple laps. Take the 3-second time penalty and hits the wall, so I think those tires are starting to fall off ever so slightly. Ooh, but meanwhile, Duwil, he came so close tonight as this group of cars, they're just going to be battling like crazy. Kurt Valletta is essentially just the divider, the separator between this group and the top three that have been able to kind of run away just a little bit here. So they're not complaining, but I think Knight is going to try to change this as he's going to have to go the long way around. There's a little bit of contact there between the two drivers. Duwil, though, trying to slip himself down the inside there. He's going to get a compromised exit, and that might allow Passe to come at him here. Maybe the McLaren will get another overtake. Let's ride on board and see. It's going to be close. Oh, this is going to be they're 3 wide. How is this going to work out? And no, okay, so it was close. Oh, hang on. Oh, no, that's Passe spun around as he's going to dive into the pits. Now Kurt Valletta into the pits. Oh my goodness, that was near chaos as now Duwil and Nole going side by side now here. It looks like Duwil's going to hang on. There's a little bit of contact between the two drivers, but that is going to keep everything relatively clean. No worries there. But we've got these 4 cars, and Potgetter now is right behind Dark. Oh, he thought about going for a move, but just had nowhere to go other than into the rear diffuser, so had to take an early braking. And oh no, that was close for Potgetter. Just keeps that car in check, and honestly doesn't look like there's any wing damage on that Aston Martin, thankfully. So just a little bit of a love tap with the wall, but nothing crazy about that. But that was just crazy. 3 wide there, but I think it was Kurt Valletta who just went into the pits there, and I think I heard the Alpine of Knight through the team radio there, having a little bit of a scary moment there. Is now Duwil getting ahead of that same Alpine to go up into P4. Irish Shoe Potato pitting for a set of soft tires though, so essentially that puts Duwil into a podium position as of right now here with 9 laps to go in in this Grand Prix, but still anybody's to play for. As you can see, this midfield pack of group of cars, they're all taking the exit of turn 2 at the same time. They're essentially all just battling it out, one against another, and those who are just pitting now on those soft tires, they're going to catch up sooner rather than later to this group of cars, I feel. And it's just going to make things even more exciting here right at the end of this race. But for now, VR46 is in the lead. It's Nazareth is in second, a second and a half just about behind. They've got a 4-second gap, or 4.5-second gap to Zuwil, who is in third, with Knight sticking by in P4, trying to chase down on those hard tires that, like I said, can definitely go to the end. I think Zuwil is trying to do the same on the medium tires, but they might fall off the cliff a little bit earlier, so that might be when the advantage could shift over to Knight and Nole on the hard tires. Once the mediums do start to fall off, but VR and Nazareth, they're still continuing on with those with that set of mediums. They're sticking with the 20-lap old medium tires here, and I mean, I don't think they're going to go to the end, if I'm being honest, but they might darn well try, because the laps are starting to dwindle down here, and unless they're hoping for a late safety car to take their pit stop, they might be struggling on those 20-lap old medium tires. But we'll see how this is all going to play out here with still a few laps to go in this Grand Prix. Less than 10, but more than 5 here, as you can see Nole trying to chase down Knight. But I think a lot of drivers now working on their deltas, managing the tires, managing the fuel here. Where we've got a little bit of a breather in the action, as those who are in the lead, for example, Nude Potato is chasing down now the first car that's ahead of Hartman, who's up into P7 on the mediums. We'll stick with this because I think this is going to be the next battle we're going to see here on track as they head down towards the final few corners. No DRS, surprisingly, for New Potato, but honestly might not need it there, as now both those drivers, VR and Nazareth, taking a pit stop here. Ooh, there goes, here comes Irish New Potato, though, going for a move. Is he gonna get it with DRS? Hartman fighting, but he's gonna have to take the long way around into turn 1, and there you go, into the corners. Those soft tires, 2-lap old soft tires, just so much more traction, just so much quicker than the 10-lap old mediums. You saw that right there. So it is going to be Nude Potato now up into P5, but Duwil finds himself now in the lead of this race, with Knight in second and Nole rounding out the podium here in top 3. But Kurt Valletta is now out of this Grand Prix, as that's a big accident there, and that's going to bring out a full safety car. Oh my goodness, there you see that car of Kurt Valletta, as Potgetter will get another view. So you come through the Vettel chicane here of a turn 3, turn 4, just losing the car. I think on the exit was Kurt Valletta, and on that fresher set of tires, I think just feeling confident on that new rubber. But sometimes having too much confidence there can just get the better of you, and that might have been what happened to Kurt Valletta, just losing the car and unfortunately hitting the wall in just the wrong angle. But lap 28 out of 35, we have a full safety car here, and this is going to make for a crazy finale. You're seeing Dark, well, yeah, definitely going to pit off for those 12-lap old soft tires. Hartman pitting off of the mediums. But it looks like the top 3 here, Zuwil, Knight, and Nole, they're going to stay out on their tires. They're not going to pit. It doesn't seem like it's worth it for them here. But we're going to have to see how they can hang on, given that a lot of drivers behind them, Nude Potato, VR46 Yarno, Nazareth, Dark, Potgetter, Hartman now, Calm Koala, they're all pitting for a set of soft tires. So with the grid being bunched up, we're going to have to see how they're going to be able to defend here with that harder compound. And I think, I do believe that it's going to be close here with the mediums compared to the hards. I think the mediums might just start to fall off from the initial pace here. The hards, meanwhile, still have some maximum pace to go for here, being only 13 laps old and counting. But it's going to make things very chaotic, and it's going to make for a very good finish to this Grand Prix here, as we are under safety car late in these late stages, lap 29 out of 35. Now, once again, I'm just going to go take a quick drink here, so I do want to thank everybody for watching. I will be back in just a few moments here after I take that quick sip, and I will take us through any events that have happened here in the meantime, and of course the restart here once we do go back to green flag racing. So thank you for watching, and I'll be back in just a few moments now. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, I am back. It is lap 30 now. We are under safety car with Duwill leading the way. Knight and Nole in P2 and P3, rounding out essentially the provisional podium here. But with a lot of drivers on those soft tires looking to charge right back at them, the safety car is coming in at the end of this lap. So we will be going back to green flag racing here to start lap 31 out of 35. This is going to be good here, ladies and gentlemen. If you're just tuning in, you've missed a lot, but of course the best is yet to come here. It's going to be a 5-lap sprint to the finish as Duwill becomes the de facto safety car. He is getting the final heat into those medium tires. You can see everybody else following along, but now through the final corner he goes. This is the restart. Let's do it here. Back to green flag racing as it looks to be a clean restart from everybody here, making it through the final corner. No yellow flags already. Nole chasing down Knight. You can see the pressure, but look at New Potato right behind. On a charge VR as well. They need to find the traction out of this corner because time is going to be very quickly running out. Already going down the inside is New Potato as they're nearly side by side here. Let's take a look at this battle, and no, just not close enough. But you can see the charge here in New Potato's step. He's trying to get by as quick as possible, but Nole defending for dear life here. As they're so close down the outside, it's going to turn into the inside. It's near. They're side by side here, and it looks like it is going to be New Potato who gets the overtake done, but the Ferrari coming right back of Nole. They're nearly 2 by 2 here as they're heading into the hairpin. Oh, there's contact, and that was the little half spin there from Irish New Potato, but he keeps that car under control. My goodness, that was close, but the Ferrari, meanwhile, loses out on a position in the process, so there goes Nole down in P5 now, as he's now right in the midst of all these soft tire runners. New Potato and Nazareth, though, they've got now 3 laps. They're gonna have to catch up to this podium now. With the tires, we know essentially top 2, top 3 are we know the tire situation here. Let's quickly take a look at the penalties. Duwill with 3 seconds, Knight with 6, and oh no, there goes Nole from bad to worse, not having the end of the race he was hoping for here, as he's all the way down now in P13. Finds himself at the rear of the grid after that moment. Potgetter getting ahead of Hartman as they're going side by side there. Hartman might be overtaken by Comp Koala as they're battling here right behind. There goes the Alpine. Hartman taking a very wide line, and that's going to allow Jordan, I believe, to get ahead, as now Hartman's trying to close the door, but they're side by side as they head into this next corner section. There we go. Oh, nearly 3 wide. There's contact there between the 3 cars. That was Passay and Slayer, I think, who got the worst of that. Passay with no front wing anymore, and that's gonna bring out another safety car here. Lap 32 out of 35. Ladies and gentlemen, be quick because the safety car is going to last probably about 1 lap before we head back to green flag racing here. That's going to allow Passay to get a wing change on that car and everybody else to essentially fix some damage. Duwill, Knight still still leading here. Newt Potato in P3, but with 9 seconds of penalties, and this late safety car is just not going to help a lot of drivers here. Calm Koala with 21, Dark with 15, Hartman with 12. My goodness, lots of penalties here in Canada. You do come to expect that with the type of track we have here, but this is the situation now with the penalties. Will looking to be relatively comfortable. Knight and Newt Potato in a little bit of a worrisome moment there with Nazareth, only with 3 seconds of penalties. Newt Potato in a worse position, because looking behind here, the next person with 3 seconds is Jordan, and Jordan's going to have to, I think, maybe really make a rush here, given the place. Given the places, but of course there's only going to be maybe 2 laps of racing to go here once the safety car does come in. Are the lights going to come off at the end of this lap? It's going to have to, as Potgetter taking a 5-second penalty for a collision with Calm Koala. That's not ideal. The safety car is going to come in at the end of this lap, so we will be going back to green flag racing, but it's going to be essentially a green-white checkered flag here to finish this Grand Prix. And as the safety car is coming in, Will is leading the queue here for the safety car. And here we go, back to green flag. Let's do it up, ladies and gentlemen. Get ready for the finish as they all come through the final chicane, the final corner. Lap 34 out of 35. It's a good start from the top 3 here as they're chasing down. Meanwhile, Calm Koala and Potgetter going side by side through turn 2 as they're having their own battle on the soft tires. Forced into the wall a little bit was Calm Koala as they're getting caught up here. This is not what you like to see here. You got to get yourself sorted out there before that. You don't want to be squeezing too hard there. But of course, let's go back to this battle for the lead for the podium here as Irish Newt Potato on the soft tires, Knight on the hards, Will on the mediums. It's a war of attrition here for the final few laps. Who's got the pace? Who's got what it takes here to take the victory here at the end of this Grand Prix? Nazareth, though, meanwhile, a little horse for a podium here, a little black horse with 3 seconds of penalties, could be leapfrogging a few places here. Just has to stick with it. Just has to keep clean. Hartman now overtaken Nole, who was running so well for so long, but not getting the end of the Grand Prix he was hoping for here. There goes Irish Newt Potato. Oh boy, oh my goodness, that was Knight going for a funky little ride there. As now, oh my goodness, look at this. This was crazy scenes here. Is now going alongside on the final lap of the Grand Prix is this whole group of cars. We've got Irish Newt Potato, Nazareth, and Dark behind. Oh my goodness, Irish Newt Potato nearly losing the car there. Nearly losing his Mercedes on the final lap. That would have been very bad way to end this Grand Prix, given where he stands here. There goes VR 46 Yarno trying to get ahead of Knight, needing to extend the track limits, but we saw that there. There we go. It's a battle, side by side they go, as now VR gets ahead. Knight with 11 seconds now after that interesting line. Once again, having to take a wide line. Those hard tires just look done and dusted for Knight, unfortunately, as now an Irish Newt Potato is coming down the inside of the hairpin. Has to think by. Nazareth, though, right behind, looking to sneak right by, but that was not going to happen. And as they charge down towards the final few corners here, I want to put view on the leaders, but we've got oh my goodness, crazy scenes in the wall. Dark and Potgetter out of this Grand Prix. Thankfully, there's ghosting on, so that doesn't affect anybody else going right through. But chaotic scenes at the end of the Grand Prix as Will takes the victory, and it's going to be VR 46 Yarno and Nazareth on the podium with Passe through all of that, ending up in P4 after being essentially at the back of the grid just a few laps ago. My goodness, what a chaotic, what a crazy finish to that Grand Prix. Right there, a little bit of controversy there, as I'm sure the drivers are going to have probably their own opinions on that accident right at the end there, and I'm sure a few others as well. But that's been the end of the Grand Prix there. Fantastic drive from the podium sitters, and with those late safety cars, it essentially came down to you got to stay clean here on track. that's the thing. You just gotta keep clean. You gotta not take those time penalties. And like we saw with just about everybody here on the podium, it worked out, especially with that late safety car. But oh my, what a race that was. What a finale there with the green, white, checkered flag to finish this Grand Prix. But there you have it. That is the order here. It's Zuil who takes the victory from P5. He is your winner here at the Canadian Grand Prix. VR46 Serrano in second, and Nazareth. It's Nazareth. I was saying he was a little bit of a dark horse here when he's got the pace. Had the pace here today. Finds himself on the podium in P3. Passay, Jordan, Knight, Nole, Irish New Potato, Hartman, and Slayer round out the top 10. Calm Koala, Dark, Potgetter, Kurt Valletta, Lorenzo rounding out the top 15 here. Rotation, Krishna Demorts, Chessy, and Cohen. They are your remaining drivers here on the grid. Couple DNFs there, but all in all, fantastic race, and I was more than happy to be able to take you all through it here today. But let's see. After that, after what was honestly just a very chaotic race, I do have to say, I think that's probably going to do it here for the end of the Division 2 stream. But fret not, ladies and gentlemen, because in about 40 minutes time at 3 p.m. Eastern, we've got the main event. It is the Division 1 Championship, and it will be head by myself, and we will have a special co-commentator in the booth for the Division 1 race here this week as a little birthday gift tonight. He gets to race Canada, his home track, his favorite track in Division 1. See what he can do here. He can race, he can calm. We'll see what he can do against the Division 1 drivers. But that's coming at you in about 40 minutes time, so don't go anywhere. But of course, I do hope you enjoyed the Division 2 race as much as I did here today. It was a fantastic race, and I do want to thank everybody for watching this Grand Prix. And for Division 2, of course, we're going to be back next week, same time, same place, as we take to Russia. It's going to be the Sochi Autodrome for the Russian Grand Prix, so you won't want to miss that. But until then, and of course until Division 1, my name is Fallen Monkeys, saying thank you so much for watching, and have yourselves a fantastic evening.